Hi everybody, it is Shannon again. It is 8 o'clock on Wednesday, March 8th. I am going ahead and sewing the Dahlia block from Tula Pink's Moongarden, and it is the Village Green PMQ, the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. It is Clue 2 of the small. I'm doing the small. I'm doing two smalls. I'm actually doing the Dahlia, which is Tula Pink, and the the Goldilocks fabric. Of course, I can't remember what that fabric is. Let me pull it out, and I will tell you. You know what? I know where I have that. I know where I have that information. It is right on the other side of this. So tonight I'm doing Dahlia. Saturday with Stephanie Stitches and 55 of our friends. We're sewing all this together. Saturday live at 5 p.m. on Stephanie Stitches' site. I'll be sewing the Daffodil, which is Little Goldie from Clothworks. And so if you are around and you want to watch a bunch of folks sewing that together, I will link Stephanie Stitches' YouTube in this video, and you can catch all of us doing that together. It's pretty cool. It's a large group, again, like 55 of us. We don't all end up on the Zoom, but most of us end up on the YouTube at least, and chatting together and everything. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun. So I would love you to join us. I've checked to make sure that I have lettered my fabrics correctly. So they are correct at this point. I've counted them to ensure that I have all the fabric that I'm supposed to have. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do today's sections. There are there's two of section A and two of section B. I'm going to sew one section A and one section B on the video, and then I'll sew the other two later on, but just so you can see both sections put together. So first up, I'm going to start with a couple of A triangles. And I try to remember and to remind myself, and I'll try to remind you guys too, they are cut, folded over. So there's one facing up, right side, and one facing down, so the wrong side is up. And when I pull them out to get ready to sew, I try to remember to put them both right sides facing up, because as I get into just kind of the routine and the flow of sewing, if I don't do that as I'm pulling them out, I will sometimes forget that they are right side and wrong side together, and I will sew them upside down, and that drives me insane. So we'll try to not have that happen. So two triangles A and an F block. Ooh, you know what I'm very excited about is that we have fabric E in this pack, and Clue 2, and I got a really good shot of the owl, which is my favorite part of this whole collection, the whole line of this Moongarden. So I'm super excited for that one. So that'll be cool. So that is the first bit. I'm just going to go ahead and pull everything out for section A and piece everything together, and then separate them, iron them, and then sew the next pieces together. So that's that. Then I need 2 D triangles and 1 right side up, 2 right side up. There we go. 2 D triangles and 2 B triangles. So 1 right side up. If you guys catch me saying 1 ring-a-dingy, you can blame my dad. My dad used to say that, 1 ring-a-dingy, 2 ring-a-dingy. So you blame that on my father. That's who I learned it from. Still makes me giggle because I'm a dork. There we go. So to B to D to be sewn together. So that goes together, that goes together. Then 2D blocks and 2C blocks. So 2 C blocks are here. This is, I really like this too. Ooh, let's pull it over here. I really like this too. That's really cool. And then 2 D blocks, but I'll make sure that I have them both right side up and right side up. And then, what did I say that was? 2C and 2D, and then 2B and 2D. Okay, I think there's only 2B there. Yep, there's only 2 B's. And then we'll pull out 2 D's. Up. There we go. And we'll make sure they're right sides facing. Right side. Excellent. All right, I'm gonna make them line up again. I can't have them not in alphabetical order. It will drive me insane. And there we go. All right, all these beauties are in alphabetical order and they're ready to go for section 2B. But first, I'm going to start off with section 2A. So I'll have one set and this to the side to put together later. One set and this to the side. Put those together later, and then one set and put those to the side. There we go. Because the goal is to get through one section A and one section B tonight. Okay, so we'll go ahead and lay these together the way I'll be able to chain piece them. Those. This is going to be so this will be like this, and this will be like this. So I got to do this one first and come back and sew that other one on. How's everybody doing this week? It's the middle of the week, halfway through. I'm very much looking forward to this weekend. A friend of the family, they are building a chicken coop. So my boys and I are going to do not a barn raising, but a chicken coop raising, and get to see the baby chicks this weekend. So I'm excited about that. That's before we sew live with Stephanie. So it's gonna be a busy weekend. I'm very excited. Sunday I'll be working on more of my sail away with legit kits, which is exciting because it's getting closer and closer. And let's see, there we go. All right. Oh, I gotta make sure I drop the, yep, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with a leader. Sometimes my machine will, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the, there we go. That does it, puts the, I can never remember the terms of things when I'm trying to let you guys know what it is I'm doing. But I just flip the switch so it's like the little tiny hole where, so just the needle goes through. That does help with not pulling like the corners of pieces down in, but I still do the leaders because I still find it will, my machine will gladly eat fabric given the chance. So we got that started, line it up on our 1/4 inch. We go. I'm again, I sew kind of everything with a 1.8 stitch length. I do the 1.8 stitch length because I find that it keeps the pieces together nicer. I like the smaller stitch length when I press everything out. I like the way it looks. Pros and cons. So some folks just turn on their machine and go with the whatever stitch length the machine has, and I did that for a long time, and mine was 2.4. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's the aesthetics, and I like the look, the tighter look, I guess. Less being able to see the thread when I iron it out. Sometimes if the stitch length is longer, you know, there's bigger holes between where the needle goes in and moves over. It can separate a little bit. I'm also an aggressive ironer. I like to push my seams back, and that can definitely show some of the thread. The drawback to that is if there is a mistake, ripping a 1.8 is less fun than ripping a larger stitch length. But to me, the trade-off is worth it. The look of it, I like just so much better that it's worth it for me to have to spend a little bit more time ripping if I need to. So that's why I do 1.8 stitch length. I say try out what works best for you, what you think works well, what you think looks good, what you're willing to put up with when it comes time to correct mistakes. When you do have to correct mistakes, a very, very sharp seam ripper is your best friend. I find I went to culinary school and worked as a chef for a while, and one of the major tenets in culinary school is sharp knives do the job much better than dull knives, are also more safe than dull knives, and the same is true with sewing implements. Sharp tools, sharp scissors, sharp rotary cutters, sharp seam rippers do their job much better, much cleaner, much prettier than having dull tools. So there's overlap that you would not even imagine between cooking and sewing. And that is where one of those overlaps is. All right, so over where you can't see me right now, I'm just setting the seams. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read my instructions on where I should be ironing these. You want to follow Cotton Cut's instructions on where to iron. It's not always to the dark side, and it doesn't always necessarily make sense to you at the time that you're ironing them, and that's because you're just doing a small, one little clue at a time. But when you put together the whole, when it all comes together, the way they tell you to press makes total sense. So you gotta trust the process. You gotta trust that they know. Also though, there are no rules. If you prefer doing your seams open and you're comfortable with that, and you are used to, pressing your seams open, and that's how you build your quilts, go for it. Do you. No one is here to police you. I do not believe in that. There's no one true way. I think you figure out what works best for you. If you are an open seams open person, I say go for it. But I'm going to follow their instructions. So I will be going towards the D triangle, towards the D squares, and towards the A triangles. All right. So I will be, of course, utilizing my Acorn Precision Piecing products, which is my starch alternative, very, very lightly. You are working with pre-cut fabric, and pre-cut fabric that is pre-cut to fit specifically into a very specific pattern. And if you know, are very much a starcher, you know, pre-starching all your fabric, you can shrink them and they won't shrink necessarily in the same manner, because you know, maybe the dyes impact the fabric differently. So that because the way it's dyed, maybe one of these is only like a couple of them only have like one color on it. So maybe that one shrinks a little more than a 4-dye piece. You just don't know. You don't know what the shrinkage is going to be across them, and so your pieces might not line up well. So when I'm saying I am using my precision piecing product, I am ever so lightly using it on the seam, and just real quick drawing it across, right across the seam, and not altering the shape of the block. When I first started, I made the mistake of putting far too much, and also I put far too much, and I also really, I don't know what I was thinking. I pushed too hard and then drug the pen. The tip looks like that. I pushed it down and drug it across the top of the block, which completely altered it. It warped the fabric completely. So you just want to have a very light hand with how much you're putting on, and a very gentle hand with how you're applying the starch alternative. And, you know, feel free to choose not to do it if you're not comfortable. I want your blocks to come out beautiful, and I want you to be happy with how you're doing this. So if you would rather not risk it, I completely understand. And I say do what works for you. But I'm just doing a very light run on it, and then kind of gently finger pressing the fabrics over, and then using a very hot iron up here where I'm at my desk in my sewing room. I have this cute little, I use the little Cricut iron. So cute, so little. I use that up here because it fits nicely on the surface that I'm using. It gets really super hot, and I'm not using any starch. You know, just that wee little bit on the seams. I do find that if you get the fabric really, you know, you're starching non-pre-shrunk fabric, and you're trying to use that iron, it overheats, it trips, it does a sensor thing, and it like will shut off. It doesn't like to be. Oh, hello, Bass Drop. Bass Drop, the kitty cat, is joining us this evening. But yeah, so the little iron doesn't like that extra moisture. It is unhappy. So if I'm doing any starching or any spraying of water to help reconvince my fabric to go into a shape, I won't use this little guy, because it doesn't appreciate the water or the moisture. But other than that, it is a super cool little iron. I know there are several irons out there. If you have a favorite and you want to drop that in the comments, that would be cool. Love to hear what irons you like. I have I have a travel one that's actually sitting at my friend's house. We have sew nights, and so I've commandeered a drawer and have my little travel one at my friend Ingrid's, and then I have my Panasonic, the cordless with the like Teflon bottom, which is an amazing iron. I have that big one though, but that's at the cutting station where I'm dealing with like large groups of fabric. And then I just got, because I had FOMO, and Ingrid has the Aliso Mini, and it got really hot, and I really like a really hot iron, so I went ahead and ordered one of those too. So I think that one may end up coming with me on the retreat this week, at the end of this month, not this weekend. I wish it was this weekend. Gosh, yeah, if it was this weekend, I'd be excited. Can't wait to go to the retreat. All right, so next I have to sew this guy on this side. So we'll do that like this. That's next that we put together. And then we put D and C and B and D together like this. And the way they had you iron, that means your seams are nesting, so they should go together nice and pretty. You just make sure those seams are up nice and tight against each other, and sew that together. And then this oh, you know what I just realized I did? I was talking and not paying attention. I'm gonna have to, I spoke the Ripper into existence. If you guys follow Sean, the guy who sews, he talks about not speaking its name, and I did. So I'm gonna have to take this out and redo it. But that's all right. That's the process, and I am a turn the video camera on and show all the warts and all. So you guys are gonna get to see me have to fix that and start that guy over again. Let's make sure we're doing this one right. It goes like this. We'll go ahead and start this guy. So yeah, I have homework to do to research video editing apps. What are all the cool kids using for that kind of stuff? And you know, maybe I'll get into some fancier editing and things of that nature. But right now, I just turn on the video. It's on my cell phone. And what happens, happens. And you all are along for the ride. So I appreciate that you guys come back to watch the madness. What's going to happen next is you guys are going to have to watch the ripping. All right, let's make sure this is lined up. Hold it for it to go right up to the needle. Let it catch that side, and then we'll make sure we're straight down here. Looks good. And we'll finish this one up. The base drop is going to sleep on the rest of the pieces, so that I will have to get cat hair off of them later. All right, so, okay, so the joys of a 1.8 is that they're very tiny and a little bit difficult to get under. But this seam ripper that I got from Quilts is very sharp and very tapered at the end to a very tight, like it's very thin. So it gets underneath the thread pretty easily, even at a 1.8. So what I'll usually do with ones that I can see pretty easily, like I can on this, is just go down go down the fabric, pull. Well, if it starts doing that and then it's not letting me as easily as I would like get underneath. Let me pull all this back. So we'll pull that out and then we'll see if it'll let me run it like this. Oh, there we go. You just gotta be careful that you don't push too hard. If you feel resistance, stop. The threads will, like fluff from the threads will pile up. And if you ignore that and you just keep ripping, you can tear the fabric. I have done that in the past. So you just want to pay attention and not ignore the warnings that it's giving you. Yep, like right there, it was fighting me. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out the threads so that it doesn't rip the fabric. I definitely don't want that. And I think we might be able, let's see, there we go, right through the end. All right, my Roomba will be excited for tonight. There's gonna be all kinds of threads on the ground. And there we go. I'll try to get all of the little pieces out. And then let's try this again, y'all. Here we go. All right, so I had it opening like a square. What I need it to open up as is a triangle. So I need to do D like this and B like that. I need to sew this edge together. Let's do that now. Cool. All right. Get it lined up. There we go. Excellent. Right on the edge. Hi, base drop. Can I get my stuff? Thank you. Bye, buddy. All right. Let's get that going. While that's going on, start separating these guys. And there we go. All right, so round 2 for this guy. Again, going to iron that towards the D fabric, which is the floral, and then we'll open up that little 4 patch, which goes towards the B and D fabric, and then the other triangle piece goes towards the A, which is the polka dots, little pink polka dots. Just a little touch of the magic juice on these seams. Like that. And then I want it to go towards B, so that's this side. There we go. I don't know about you all, but I was a sneak and open my Christmas presents kind of person. I got really good at retaping Christmas presents because it never ruined Christmas for me. Never ruined Christmas for me. And nobody ever knew. At least I don't think they knew. They never told me if they knew. But I really enjoy knowing what I'm getting before I get it. And so not knowing what this final product is going to look like drives me insane. I'm also the kind of person, hello again, base drop, the kind of person that will 1000% read the last chapter of a book before I read the entirety of the book. I'm a heathen, I know, but I've always, that's just, I don't like surprises. That's how I am. Yeah, the mystery quilt, mystery piece of it drives me insane. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it together. And the other 54 friends too. Sorry, the camera is jiggling because the cat is doing something. Oh, cleaning his back foot. Ugh. Face drop, can you not do that up here, please? I gotta figure out another way so my camera doesn't move so much. Well, all right, so there's our 4 patch. We've got 2 more seams to put together, and then we'll be done with section 2A. Get this guy ironed up. Again, I do, I iron it, so I put the magic juice on the seams, I iron it flat, and then I do hit it with clapper. Am I opening this towards D? I am opening this towards D. Okay. Making sure. Yep, and then I'll hit it with the clapper to make it even flatter. I really like nice and flat seams. I take a little bit of extra time to do it. I am a slow sewer. I am a slow, precise ironer. I like everything to end up very, very flat, very, again, crisp. So I'm never going to be the fastest one, never going to be the first one done, but that's okay. That's just the way it is. Okay, so there's D and B together, and then this is A, little triangle A, and F, and then these go together. I'm going to sew it with the A's, the little pink polka dots, up, because I want to be able to pay really, really close attention to this intersection here, which I want to go just a little smidge to the right of, so that I keep my points. That is the goal, is you want your points perfect when you iron it back, or as close to perfect as you can get. You know how that goes. It's a quilt. It's meant to snuggle you up with warmth. It is not going to be any less effective at doing that if your points aren't all perfect. So I would not stress too much about it if it's just not working out and it's like just not your night and points are just not your friend. I certainly wouldn't completely stress out about it, because the quilt is still going to be made with love, is still going to serve its purpose in keeping you warm. But, you know, we're trying to improve every day and get better at our craft here of quilting and sewing these pieces together. So working towards each one being a little better than the last one is absolutely a noble endeavor. So that's what we're going to try to do. Try to get it as close as possible. I feel, yep, that little seam was flipping over. So if you feel something isn't quite right, go ahead and stop, slow down, start it again. And we're going right to the side. I'll line this up again. Hey, base drop, you don't have to help hold it over there, my friend. Thank you. He is trying to eat the leader. So I'm absolutely getting help pulling this through to the other side. Thank you, base drop. All right. Can I take it now? Can I have it, sir? Thank you. Okay, so now we just gotta flip this over, and we're gonna iron it, and this is going toward the bigger triangles, the D and B. So we'll get that going. We'll see how I did on my points. And we'll put the last seam together, so put these two sections together for section 2A, and then we'll pop section 2B together, and then both of them get put together to form a long strip of them. So that'll be exciting, and we'll get to work on that. So let's talky more worky. Right. If you are working on the Village Green PMQ, let me know what fabrics you're using. What is the colorway that you're using? There were so very many to choose from. It was very hard for me to choose. My oldest kiddo, Lauren, picked the Tula Pink, so that made that one easy. I said, okay, we'll do that one. And then there was just the Goldilocks. I mean, those bears, come on now, adorable. So that's why I picked that one. But the Sweet William is gorgeous. Just so, yeah. I could have done one of each. I don't have time or space to do one of each, but would have loved to. So yeah, if you're doing this, if you are doing it with us, or if you're doing it on your own, let me know what colorway you're doing. Had a new subscriber. He actually does his videos. He has videos too. Sewing with Luane, I think, I'm pretty sure. And he's doing Poppy. That one's cool. That's the red, white, and blue. My friends are doing the lavender with all those purples, which so pretty. Sweet William, a couple of dahlias. Yeah, we've got quite the list of folks. So look at that. I'm pretty happy with that. I probably could have gotten even like a little bit closer, but I'm happy with how that looks. So I am good with that. This guy goes like this on this side, and then the DB portion goes up, and the CD portion is on the bottom, and then they go together like this. So let's do that now. And again, they hook you up with the way that you press those seams. So if you like to nest your seams, they hooked you up. It all comes together, and they are nested and ready to sew together. What I think I'm going to do is go ahead and just leave this on my machine. Let base drop play with the leader, and go ahead and set up so I can just add the pieces for section 2B to it. So what I need for a 2B is 2 little blocks of A. Sorry, my arm is in the way. 2 little blocks of A, and they are going to go on a block of D. That'll be cute. They go top and bottom. Then a bar of B. Is going to go on one side of a bar of F, and then on the other side of that F is going to go a bar of C. So that's cool. It'll be a 3-bar set. And then for this one, we're gonna need a B triangle and a D triangle. Oh, C, this is C. So let's put that back on there. Where to put the B block? There we go. B. And then we need a D triangle. So that, and then we need another D triangle because we're going to do D and A. And let me put, oops, I just dropped F. I'm going to put D back together. And we're going to shape the F clip for right now because it's down there somewhere. So D and A. There we go. D and A. Now, this time I'm going to, thank you, bass drop. I'm going to make sure I'm reading the instructions for the triangles before I start putting them together. They're going to go in a very similar manner to section 2A, so that'll be good. Try to remind myself. Thank you, bass drop. He almost took down the whole thing. All right, let's see if I can snag the F clip and put that back on. All right, so here we go. So these triangles and these 3 together, and then these 3 together. All right, so I know this has, you know, it's going to be top or bottom, but I like, you can pay attention to this if you want to. You can totally ignore it if you don't want to do this. I'm going to have it go directionally. I like that these are facing up, and that's how it goes in this block. So I'm going to put this as the top and then also this one on the bottom. And I'm just gonna have it go like that. If your well, let's see, piece D, if your block D doesn't have, like, it's not directional like that, or if you don't want to have to worry about that in the rest of the pattern, don't worry about it. I'm thinking about it, so I'm gonna do that for this one because why not? All right, I'm also gonna sew B to this side of F. Line them up nice and pretty. Do that. Okay, bass drop is just unsure of what he wants to do this evening. It's driving me nuts. So, all right, so that'll be back when we come back. Now, let's see. B and D. B is going to go this way and D is going to go this way. So I'm going to put them together like that. So this side. He is trying my nerves tonight. And then A goes like this, and D goes, is that right? Yep, D goes like that. So I'm gonna sew this on this way. All right, there we go. Lesson learned. Try not to make the same mistakes twice. I read it before I started, instead of chitty-chatting and thinking I remembered what it was supposed to be. Excellent. Hi, kitty. All right. Let's So this is going to be the finished section of 1A. Which is good. There we go. And I think I might just put this one back through again, actually. And this back through again. Before I iron them out. But these are successfully completed. So I'll go ahead and put those over here. So this is going to have, it goes CFB, and everything is going to get C, so it goes B, B, F, C, and everything's going to get pressed towards F. So I'm going to go ahead and pop C on this side, on the opposite side of B, and get that guy going. And then we'll go ahead and do the bottom from the way that I've decided that these are going to end up. The bottom one on this one. And then these get ironed actually towards the light. So again, like I was saying, it isn't always going to be what you think because of how these blocks will end up going together in the end. So these are going to actually be ironed towards the white and pink polka dots, or the white with pink polka dots. So that'll be a little bit different from what you might usually think when you're ironing pieces out. And everybody says, you know, to the dark side. But the way this guy's going to go together, it makes it easier to do it towards the light. All right, so let's get to ironing. Got quite the full ironing board right now. So let me just do one thing at a time. Let's get section 2A ironed the way it's supposed to go. And it goes towards the triangles. So, again, we're going to roll it back, kind of finger press it to make sure that the seam goes the way we want it to point, and then press our iron down on the seam. We're dealing with a lot of triangles on the one side, so try to be gentle as you're ironing that out to not warp those biased edges. If you don't know what a bias edge is, the fabric when it's, now if I'm saying this wrong, let me know, but you know, when it's on the machine and it's pulled across, and so it doesn't have as much give, you know, going like pulling it, but when you cut across the fabric to cut like a triangle out, like these triangles are cut, so that fabric, and I'm not going to do it too much, has a lot of give because you're cutting across the strength. Again, crossovers into kitchen. It's like when you're trying to cut chicken or steak and you're cutting across the grain to make it really like tender. When you're cutting across the grain of the fabric, you're making it very tender, which means it's easy to pull apart, and so that means it's easy to warp and make it misshapen. So you wanna be careful. You wanna be pressing down, not you know, pulling your iron all across that. But this is that section 2A all done and ready to be sewn together with the other bits. So I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to get all of the rest of these pieces ready to go for section 2B. We can sew all of it together. I will say this is going to be like, what? Video 6, maybe? 6, maybe 7? I don't know. I'll have to count. And talking into the ether has not gotten any easier. It's a little weird. So I feel like I'm talking to my cats and they are unimpressed, but I really appreciate that the folks that stop by and watch and, you know, give me a thumbs up, because, you know, that's what you do it for the likes, right? The folks that take the time to leave a comment and take the time to watch the video, it's amazing to me. So it may be weird talking into the ether and not seeing your faces and like who I'm actually talking to, but I appreciate it, and it doesn't go unappreciated that you know, you're there, and that's who I'm picturing in my mind talking to, you guys out there, as you're sewing up your blocks or starting your sewing adventures, and maybe learning something from me, which is very exciting to think about. I might be helping you on your way, on your own journey, because a lot of folks helped me, so I really like the thought of, you know, being a little piece of someone else's journey. It's very exciting. It's very cheesy, very corny. My kids would be very annoyed with me, but you know, it's true. So this is the 2 sections of A on D, and again, because I like how they're going up this way, this is how it will look sewn together on those 3 bars of CFB. Once I get them ironed out, that's what I'll sew together. So let's move on to them. Set those seams, iron them out, and then we'll sew it together. If you wanted to, because you are throwing this guy on to the C fabric, if you wanted to wait, you could wait and do it after you've sewn. Do you know what I mean? Sewn. Yeah. Iron it out after you've sewn this piece to those 3 bars would be perfectly fine. But I'm just gonna go ahead. I've already started the ironing process, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish that. My brain froze there for a bit. My mouth kept going. My brain had no idea what my mouth was doing. Right. So again, this one's going, we're pressing these seams. So because this block is going on the end of it, now we're gonna, oh, no, actually, I lied. That's not true, because the C is gonna go across it this way. So we won't be nesting the seams, but these seams on this bar are all going towards the center. So I'll show you that in a sec. Again, gentle finger press back. Place the hot iron right on that seam with the magic juice. Nice and gentle. And I run the clapper down it. All right. So this block, all the pieces, oh my goodness, yep, are towards F. So I think I have to, did I do that? Nope, I did A towards, or B towards B. I knew I had set that up. Felt it like it was wrong. That's all right. Quick set change. We've got everything going towards F like that, but the way this block is set up, you don't have to worry about nesting any seams over here. So you're just going to put this on here and sew that on, and they match up pretty darn nicely across the thing. Excited about that. We'll put this together. Then I'm going to leave this on my needle, and I'm going to iron and then sew the triangles together. These guys get going. Oh, both of them are going to be towards D. Let's do that. Gentle roll back to open that up. We'll get them ironed out, and then I'm going to assume that you're going to position them so the D's are catacorner opposite of each other to form the block. And yep, it looks like that is true. So that's what we'll be sewing them together. And then these seams should nest because they're going to be catty corner, and we are sewing the seams going towards the same block, like they're both going up towards this block. So when we put them this way, and when it's done, B is going to be on this side, and B and A. But these seams will nest. So let's get it set up so I can show you. See how they meet. That little thread is sticking up there, so if that makes it difficult, I apologize for that. But you're gonna nest those seams together and sew this up. We're getting super close to the end for section 2B. And then we sew section 2B to section 2A. And then we sew, I'm going to sew the owl block to the end of this guy. I'm so excited to have introduced the owls in this block. There we go. All right, so goal for this weekend. Do the research on editing videos and what a good app to do that on is, and find a different place to put my camera so when my crazy kitties come flying up here, the entire table doesn't shake and look like I'm having an earthquake in my room. All right, so let's set these seams. So the BFC block is getting pressed out towards the CFB section, and we're doing it towards D and A on the triangle. All right. So let's do that. Set the seams. It is The mantra I repeat. A little bass drop. Are you moving again, sir? Yes, you are. Alright. Roll the piece up. Finger press gently, because again, these are biased edges, because they're triangles and they're going across. I don't know if it's the warp or the weft. Is it the weft that goes across? I'll have to look that up. Ooh, I'll get to learn and be able to report back to you. If you know those details, let me know too. I feel like the weft is left to right and the warp is top to bottom. Like I don't know why I feel like it's north and south, but I could be wrong. I've never done any weaving, so I'm a complete novice when it comes to that. So I could be just pulling that out of my rear on what I think it is. It just made sense to me. All right, so there's that guy. A on this side, B on this side. Then we're doing the owl. I'm so excited. Gonna add the owl to section B. We're gonna do him standing up and proud. I don't know why I'm assuming he's a him, but in my world, he's a him. So that's what we're going with. I should think of a name for him. How? I was thinking Bartholomew, but I don't want to like Bart Simpson. Think of a good name for him. So we've done that, and then what we're gonna do is sew that piece onto the other section with those, the 3 bars, CFB. Ooh. And they are going to go onto the little mini bars with the D block in the middle. This is going to get sewn onto it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and, before I iron out our little owl buddy, I'm going to go ahead and iron him on. Oops. I'll iron him onto that. And then, as I see how big this is, I actually realized that 2A does not go on to 2B. So they are 2 separate sections. It's going to go on like this and be a really long section. And it's really long. That's why I thought, when I quickly looked at it, I thought the 2 pieces were going together, but no, this is just a really long section. That's cool. Long singular section. So 2A is a long, or 2B rather, is a long portion of somewhere in this mystery quilt, which is exciting to see how that's going to come together. So let me get this done. Then I'll iron out both sides of the block that I've added together. And 2B will be done as well. So, we are nearing the end. Where'd I put my little scissors? Here we go. Nearing the end. I have made some incorrect assumptions on what the blocks were going to end up looking like. They're not being sewn together. I made a mistake and I had to rip something out. So you've gotten to follow along a little bit in the madness of my mind as I'm putting these things together. But it has been a really good time. So this is gonna go, everything's going towards our little owl friend. So we'll just iron all of that. So we're ready for that. And set all the seams. Little bit of the magic juice. Finger press it back gently. I'm so excited to see this come together in the end. This is only month 2. We've got a whole 8 months left. I'm gonna have a little while before I see what the final vision is for this, which is, again, nerve-wracking for me. I like to know, but it's teaching me patience. I can handle that. It's only taken me half a century to learn patience. Here we go. All right. All right. Here we go. Gonna place my clapper on the owl piece. And there we go. Section 2B is done as well. So it is this guy, the triangles, and the bars all together. So that's 2B. Excellent. Very good job. So that is the Dahlia of Village Green PMQ. And again, if you can join us on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Stephanie Stitches YouTube, I will of course link that so that you'll be able to come join us if you'd like. That'd be great. Definitely put down in the comments what you're sewing up if you are sewing it. If you've never done it before, I'm also gonna link Cotton Cuts so you can check out what colorways they have left. If this has been, you know, if it's piqued your interest and seems like something that you'd like to do, there are still colorways available, and you can jump in. There is no like, aside from them, you know, running out of fabric, there's no real time limit. You can jump in at any time during the 10 months. So if you're interested, again, I'll have that linked. Not affiliated, not endorsed in any way. I really love sewing these up because they're, you know, pre-cut and everything kind of fits together so nicely, and that makes me very happy. So I would love for you to join us too. If you have any questions or anything, post them in the comments below too. And I will see you again this weekend. Thanks, y'all.